Greetings and salutations, this is Huge Ass. In my very first video, a collaboration with Krafty Keelah, we debunked Nathan Oakley's top 3 globe killers. I followed that up with my own top 3 flat earth killers. And 2 more, number 4 and 5, and another one which I'll probably have to turn into number 6. But to provide a reference for other people to use these to swat down flat earth, I've decided to split out numbers 1, 2 and 3 and make it all into a big playlist. That way if you're talking to a smooth talking sophist who insists that the earth is flat, you can just point him to the relevant video in the Flat Earth Killer series. I have literally had no one debunk any of my videos so far. I suspect that's because they can't. Anyway, on to Flat Earth Killer number 1. And that is, we have observed and measured the curvature of the Earth. To take us through some observations of Earth's curvature, I brought in my sidekick, Where's Wally?
No worries, Hugh. Barely an inconvenience. Always happy to give it to the flatties. Keeping it tight. Wow, just so many curve examples, really. How about these? Lake Pontchartrain, Earth shadow in a lunar eclipse, and Himawari 8 with bonus moon caught in the overscan. Excellent. Starman, that went for 5 hours. And from the moon looking back at the Earth we see an eclipse. And then we have an undistorted black swan. And these 2 epic ships, look at that. So anyway, I think we might throw a little modus tollens at this. P, the Earth is flat. Q, then the horizon must also be flat and straight. Oh, look at this image from Rory though. Not Q. Certainly not Q for that one. Therefore, not P. Oh, that's gotta hurt. That was too easy. Barely an inconvenience.
Thanks, Wall, and if you're not subscribed to Where's Wally, what the hell's wrong with you? Get over there and subscribe this instant. And of course those aren't the only observations of Earth's curvature. Friend of the channel, Mr. Sensible, sent up a weather balloon and captured it quite nicely.
So let's start off by looking through MAGE's camera. Now this image has not been taken at any great height, but even when we're at the peak of MAGE's journey, we're not going to easily see the curve. It's only very slight. So these reference lines serve 2 purposes. Firstly, there's something to compare any curve against, and secondly, they're to demonstrate that the image itself has not been manipulated. There's a simple technique to accentuate any curves to enable them to be seen more easily. That's to compress the image from left to right in its width. Now the interesting thing is only curves get accentuated. If we add a number of random straight lines on this image and then compress it, those straight lines remain straight. The angle of them changes, but they remain straight. Curves are accentuated. This technique is so effective, it actually shows us a slight problem. That bottom MAGE string is straight. The issue is the tiny amount of barrel lens distortion in a non-distorting camera. It still gives us a slight curve. But as we can see from the diagram on barrel distortion, lines below the centre line are concave. The Earth shape that we're looking for is convex. So if anything, this distortion works against MAGE. It will make a curve look flatter. If the Earth is flat, it will make it look convex, not concave. Let's have a look at the images. This first MAGE image is at 33,456 metres. Absolutely gorgeous. Now the horizon line is just into the top third of the image. This means that barrel distortion will actually make the Earth look more curved than it really is. So it's not a fair test for flat against curved, but it's interesting to look at it. So let's compress the image and now add a horizontal perfectly straight line so we've got something to compare against. I think that's quite obvious that there is curvature. Let's zoom in a bit. So yes, curvature can be seen, but this is in the upper third of the MAGE camera, where some barrel distortion will make curves look more pronounced. So we won't regard that one as a test. However, I would like to point out that the MAGE reference line still looks straight. Let's have a look at something across the middle of the camera. Now this drop dead gorgeous image is at 35,160 odd meters. It is stunning. There is no doubt that there is curve there. That horizon line is across the middle of the field of view. So barrel distortion up or down is not going to be taking effect. That is a smoking gun. But let's have a look at it compressed. And I'll add a horizontal yellow line again for completeness. Oh look, we done got curve. I'd say it's game over for flat earth. But I think MAGE can do just that little bit better. We've seen the image of the horizon line just into the top third of the screen, where barrel distortion would help. We've now seen a horizon across the centre of the field of view, where barrel distortion should neither help nor hinder. How about the bottom third? So any distortion is working directly against seeing a curved horizon. Let's go for it. 37,705 metres in the bottom third of the screen with barrel distortion working against it, we can see curve. Let's compress it. There is definite curve there, and you can see it's curving the opposite way to the reference string, which is only curved because of barrel distortion. Let's add that yellow line just for completeness. And there we go. Globe Earth. Suck it up, princess. I think there's one last thing to do. Let's go back to that gorgeous image. If you recall, at the beginning of the video, I showed you that graphic that Andrei Puelma had produced that shows the calculated curve that we should see at the height of 39 kilometers. In this image, we're just at 35, but let's see how it does if we overlay it. Not bad. Not bad at all.
Thanks for that, Mr. S. Okay, that covers the observation of the curve of the Earth. Let's have a look at the measurement. For this, I'm going to the wonderful wealth of information collected by MC Toon on his website mctoon.net. Here's a link to the relevant page on his website, which covers where the curvature of the Earth was actually measured by surveyors. Now, there's too many to go into detail here. I'm sure if you bothered to research, you would find that these people have done the right thing and have actually measured the curvature of the Earth. I will be going into detail into at least one of them at some point in the near future. But it's the job of these surveyors to do the measurements that are recorded in the papers referenced here. Just like it's the job of a doctor to keep you alive. They use their speciality to do the thing that their speciality does. When I do that in-depth video in the future, I'll come back here and insert a card in the top right-hand corner. And there'll be links to all of this in the description as well. And I'd like to issue a challenge to all the flat earthers who have watched this and somehow still insist that the Earth is flat to come up for a reason why these measurements and observations aren't real. Don't give me the can't trust the government or it's all CGI bullshit. Give your own measurements of flatness. Give your own observations of flatness that cannot be challenged. I've been looking at this for 2 years and no one on the flat earth side has ever come up with any real evidence. Time to change your game, guys. And if you're someone on the fringe of flat earth and you've been convinced by what you've seen in this video, let me know in the comments below. I particularly like Rory's picture of the curvature off Tenerife. That's something you can do yourself. Get a couple of spirit levels that are metal, go down to the ocean side, set them up as Rory did, film it and then compress the image horizontally, and let me know how you go. MC Toon covered what Rory did in great detail. I'll leave a link to that as well. This is an experiment I intend to do in the near future, and I'll let you know how that goes too. And with this, the #1 flat earth killer, the flat earth is killed dead. If you're not convinced by that, you never will be. You're just choosing to be willfully ignorant. Why anyone would choose to be deliberately stupid is beyond me. The corgi's warming up, so if you like this video, click the like button. It really helps me out, as does leaving a comment. And if you'd like to see more of what I do, click the subscribe button and the bell notification so that you get notified of future videos that I put out. And if you really like what I do, please show your appreciation by buying me a cup of coffee through the ko-fi.com website. It's a one-off donation, which I very much appreciate. Many thanks to everyone who's done so far. There's a link in the description of this video for that, and there's also a link to my Discord server if you'd like to join there and have more interactions with me directly. Or if you'd like to more regularly contribute to this channel, you can become a channel member by clicking the join button below. For $3.99 Australian a month, that means you're a part of the huge ass movement. So there's nothing left to do but cue the corgi.
You're